my favorite place in Arizona to come. It's the Wildlife World Zoo, and I'm with Christy, and this just makes this place even cooler. What do we have here?
It does. So right now we are standing in our new Safari Park addition. It's 8 acres, bringing our entire Safari Park almost 25 acres. And behind us we have our new 3 white rhinos. And this is a huge deal because these girls just took a one-way trip from South Africa.
All 3 females.
They are. They're all 3 females. They're ranging from 2 to 2.5 years old, so they're still really small, even though they almost weigh a couple thousand pounds. But these white rhinos are the largest of the rhino species, and full grown they can weigh up to 6,000 pounds.
Now, when we got here, they were right here by the gate. I've never touched a rhino before. That was really cool, and they're pretty docile. I mean, are they used to being around people?
They are. So they came from a sanctuary out of South Africa. They were born under human care, and you're absolutely right. They are very docile, very comfortable here at Wildlife World. This weather that we have here is the perfect weather for them to thrive because it's so similar to the weather in South Africa. And when you were touching the skin, you noticed how thick it was.
Yeah.
It's actually 2 inches thick. Yes, so very thick skin. That's going to protect them out in the wild. Being light in color, they're really going to rely on a lot of mud, and they like to take mud baths and wallow around.
What girl doesn't?
Right? Yeah, beautiful skin after a nice mud bath. The girls are glowing, and that's just going to help them with keeping bugs away, and it's a natural sunscreen.
So how long before you introduce these ladies to Butch, the male that you have on the other side of the park?
So in a couple years, it's our hopes these girls will be big enough that we can do that introduction and then have a successful breeding program. When we saved these girls from South Africa, it was a huge accomplishment in the conservation world because it's new DNA, and these rhinos are actually one of the most endangered animals in the world.
You were telling me about that. You were telling me that when you had these, before you were to bring them here, they were guarded 24 hours a day because of poachers would actually break into sanctuaries to take the horns from these animals.
They do. It's horrible what these rhinos are facing out there in the wild. So we had to have them under 24-hour protection with armed guards to make sure that poachers didn't break in and harm these girls before they flew, because in South Africa alone, 3 or more rhinos a day are being poached for that ivory.
And it's just the ivory. I mean, it's just a huge waste, and they're such beautiful animals.
It is. It's a complete waste. It's awful what's going on out there. The ivory is actually made out of the same protein that our fingernails are made out of, but it's believed to be an aphrodisiac and used for medicinal purposes in the Asian cultures. So right now, ivory is worth more than heroin, cocaine, and even diamonds.
Wow. So when people come to the park, and this addition is beautiful, walking around, and I can't wait to show everybody the rest of this park, this new addition, the hyenas, and the different animals you have here, what could you possibly do next around here? Every time I come, it gets cooler.
I know. The great thing about us here at Wildlife World is we're always expanding and improving. So anytime you come out, you're always going to see something new. Now, the great thing about Safari Park, and especially the Safari Park edition, is just how open it is. All the exhibits are nice and open. The animals have plenty of room. We have some new species back here to Wildlife World, and then we have some familiar faces that people might recognize. One of my favorites back here are the Andreas Baboons. They actually came to us from a laboratory, so they are very excited to call Wildlife World their new home.
So one of the things that I love is how it's interactive here at the park. I mean, you can get really close to the animals. Going through where the lions are now was amazing to walk through that area. And you're right, the area the animals have to roam is really big. And they look like they're having a good time. They've acclimated really well. So it's a perfect combination of making sure the animals are having a space where they're comfortable, but people have access. You can almost feel like you could reach out and touch the animals.
Absolutely, and we thrive to have multiple viewing areas, so wherever the animal is, you get a good look at the animal. We like people to be close to the wildlife because that's when you're truly inspired to want to conserve and protect them out in the wild. Especially these rhinos, they need all the help they can get, so they are serving as a very important role as white rhino ambassadors, just to educate people so people understand what's going on out there and the difficulties these guys are facing.
One of the other big accomplishments here at the zoo was a baby sea lion born.
Yes.
Here.
Yes. So Crockett happens to be one of your faves.
Oh,
I know you're one of his.
He is my favorite.
And he is the new proud daddy to Sunny the sea lion, which was the first marine mammal born here in the state of Arizona. So with the bright sun we thought it would be appropriate to name him Sunny, and the name is so fitting. He is amazing.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we go over there as well and show them, introduce them to Sunny, because I don't know if people realize what an accomplishment it is to have this new DNA here in Arizona, in the States, period, but here with us, but also to have this sea lion born here at the zoo. These are big accomplishments that people don't even know about.
Huge accomplishments, and if the white rhino's population keeps decreasing at the rate that it's currently going, they could go extinct in our lifetime. So to have this DNA here from South Africa is huge in the world of conservation, because it's our hope if they do go extinct in the wild, we have enough current DNA under human care to be able to sustain the species.
All right, listen, it's Wildlife World Zoo. You've got to come. It's at the 303 in Northern. How many times do I have to tell you, if you aren't out here with your family, you are crazy. And when it's hot outside, there's the aquarium, there's indoor exhibits, and we're going to go check out the sea lions right now. Wildlife World Zoo, when I fell in love with this place, it was because of this big guy right here, Crockett. Kaylee's with me, and you are one of the trainers with Crockett. It's all right, I love this.
Awesome.
No, that's awesome. I was hoping he was going to do it. Tell us about Crockett.
So Crockett here is our 5-year-old male California sea lion. What he really enjoys doing is showing off for everyone, and he's really curious, so that's why he's playing with his toy right now. He's kind of flinging it around. He's like, pay attention to me.
Now, the little guy that's in here now, you've got the distinction of having the first marine mammal born in the state of Arizona,
Yes,
and that is who?
Sunny. That is our 5.5-month-old sea lion pup, Sunny, over here. He'll be 6 months old on the 17th of this month, so that's super exciting. This is Crockett here is his dad, obviously. So they're just out here bonding right now and playing together with their toys.
So the usual questions, how big will Crockett get? Is he full grown?
Crockett's not full grown, so he's 5 years old, and California sea lions typically mature around ages 8 to 10. So he still has a few years of growing left to do. Right now he's weighing in at about 330 pounds. So mature males can range anywhere from 600 to 1,000 pounds. So if Crockett stays here at this facility, he doesn't have any other males to compete with, so we're estimating he'll be about 700 pounds when he's full grown.
So what was it like having the first one born here? Everything was new for the first time for you
Yeah,
guys.
it was so exciting. So going through Paris's pregnancy was amazing. We did voluntary ultrasounds with her to monitor Sunny's growth throughout that, and then when it was finally time for him to be born, it was amazing. We all got called in to watch it on our baby camera that we had set up to monitor her. It was an amazing experience.
And to watch him, and I've been here now, I was there a couple of weeks ago, we're coming out this weekend,
Yeah.
but to watch Sunny just in the last couple of weeks, he's grown a little bit, and he's even a little bit more playful.
Yeah. So we monitor his growth every single day by weighing him. He weighs about 36 pounds right now. We monitor his length. He's about 3 feet long. So typically their growth rate will be they'll get fatter and then longer and then fatter and longer. So he's on the right track. He's doing great right now.
So when do you start working with him and training him to do the things? Because now I was here before when you were training Crockett to jump out of the water.
Yeah.
When do you start teaching him things?
So our training method is through positive reinforcement. So our main source of reinforcement for our sea lions is through the fish that they eat. So Sunny is still nursing from mom at the moment. Sea lion pups can nurse anywhere from 9 months to 24 months actually. It depends on mom and when she wants to wean him. So we won't start any formal training until Sunny is starting to eat fish. We are actually starting the weaning process a little bit just to help him out, and that involves having his kiddie pool out here with some live fish that he can swim around, chase, pick up. He has swallowed a few of them, so it's really exciting to watch his growth and see him progress in that. Super cool.
It's interesting to watch Crockett with him because I don't know, are they typically good parents? Are they family units? I know it's an odd question, but he's a good dad, it seems like.
Yeah, so they're not necessarily family units. The males don't really care about what's going on with the pup. It's usually mom and pup and aunts and everything. But Crockett and Sunny have bonded really well. We were sleeping them together at night. They're doing great. They have a really great relationship. You guys saw earlier, Sunny was over here pestering Crockett, and he doesn't seem to mind. They'll play together with their toys. Just hang out. He's super great with him.
So people come out to the zoo, and obviously they can sit out here when you have, what will they see when you guys have a show with the sea lions?
Yeah, so in our shows, we like to talk about the type of training we do through positive reinforcement, how we train our sea lions, the type of behaviors we train, like husbandry and high energy behaviors, as well as spreading the message of ocean conservation.
It's funny because he seems very playful and docile. Are they ever aggressive?
So through the positive reinforcement training, we spend all day, every day with these guys. So the relationships we build on with them is through mutual trust. So any little thing we notice with our sea lions, so we can notice a little twitch in their body or anything that they might be uncomfortable, and that's when we know, all right, we're gonna step back, we'll bring you back to something that you're comfortable with, and that way we can work up to those different behaviors.
He's very smart. I've noticed that you I don't know how long it takes to train him, but you're giving him commands or verbal and hand commands, and he seems to know exactly what you're telling him.
Yeah, they're so intelligent. Crockett over here, he has one of the biggest personalities out of all 4 of our sea lions. He's super curious, he loves to hang out, he's super into learning. So some behaviors he can pick up within 1 session, or others it takes a few days. So it just depends on what we're training him to do and how many approximations we need to take to train it.
Now, with this little guy being the first one born in Arizona in captivity, a lot of interest in the scientific community because he was the first one.
Yeah, he is the first one. So our sea lions used to be the only marine mammals here in the state of Arizona until other facilities came about. So our sea lions have been here for about 5 years now, so it just hit the time where they were breeding, and then we got this little one right here.
And they're so much fun to watch. It is so,
Yeah.
and watching Crockett on land, he's very, clumsy sometimes. But in the
Yeah.
water, I mean, absolutely beautiful to watch him swim.
Yeah, well actually these guys are actually very graceful on land. So they're pinnipeds. So they actually have these abilities, sea lions especially have the ability to rotate their rear flippers underneath their body and walk up on land. And actually when they're running on all 4 flippers on land, they can actually run faster than the average human.
Wow.
So they are very graceful on land. Sometimes they're a little clumsy. Sunny over here, of course, is clumsy. He's growing into his flippers still. But in the water, yes, they are very, very graceful.
Well, I appreciate you showing these guys off for us.
welcome.
Listen, when you get an opportunity, you've got to come out here. The Wildlife World Zoo, it is out in the West Valley, the 303 in Northern. And if you don't fall in love with these guys, you're never going to. It is one of the best shows around. Your kids are going to love it. It's a great family atmosphere. And when it's hot outside, they've got indoor exhibits. They have an aquarium. You haven't even seen that yet. And I'm telling you, it's a great time. Do yourself a favor. Get out.